Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, I want to talk to you guys about how Plarium is completely blowing it in the last week or so. Like, they've totally been blowing it. It doesn't really give you a vote of confidence in their abilities. I mean, more so than usual. If you guys been following basically the adventures of Plarium, they've always been kind of rough around the edges, but in the last week or so, there's just been a massive fumbling of just basic things that you expect a company of this size. But anyways, in this video, I'm going to go over some of those things and we'll have a discussion about it. Let's get right into it. Okay, so first things first. So last Friday, there was a summon event, Summon Rush here. Very good event. It was actually a double chance sacred event for Summon Rush, which is very nice. And there's actually a progressive on it, progressive event for Newt. So Newt, obviously very, very sought after. Champion from the Dwarves faction here. Very, very sought after. But what happened was that Plarium completely botched this event. So basically what happened was that at the start of this event, the 2x chance was apparently on, but the progressive boost for Newt was not on or not available, and people were pulling shards and all that stuff, and they weren't getting their boosted rates or any of it. And yeah, it just created a massive mess for Plarium, and it was just so terrible. It also took Plarium quite a long time to figure it out. I believe most of the morning or most of the working hours for Plarium was spent trying to fix this event. Obviously, player frustration was extremely high when they would contact support and they would be getting responses like this, basically saying, "We apologize, but sorry." So definitely not the response you want to get if you're in the position where you spent shards hoping for a progressive event for this champion, and then being met with just, "Sorry, what can we do?" So definitely not a good look for Plarium. Finally, after several days of trying to figure out compensation for everybody, this is what Plarium basically concluded, that there's going to be multiple tiers of compensation. And ultimately what they gave up for people that spent a lot of shards was basically, here's some shards returned to you, some energy, some chickens, some random stuff. Here you go. Be happy with it. And, you know, there were some cases of people going to support and able to get like a more specific package from them. But, you know, it was very inconsistent on their part. And, obviously the community outcry was very, very loud for this event. It was a pretty big botch on their end. As soon as the event started, it was botched, and it took at least 8 hours for them to figure it out and offer some kind of compensation. But it was a really tough, I would say it was a tough week for Plarium there. All right, next up, what I got for you guys is the Heroes Path. So the current Heroes Path that we actually have in game, they actually botched this as soon as the Heroes Path was first released. So in the beginning, actually, this 6-star legendary ore here was actually 12,500. It was released as a 12,500 reward, and the 6-star mythical chaos ore was released as a 7,000 reward. This was rectified very early, maybe within the first hour of the Heroes Path dropping, but not before some screenshots came out of this change. But again, this type of mistake on a event that immediately pops up seems to be reoccurring, at least for the last week or so. So not a great start for Plarium. Then of course we have the even more recent Community Weeks Titan event for the Mikage Soul. That was basically pulled within an hour of it being released. I don't know exactly what they changed. People were speculating that Mikage shouldn't have been a full star soul. It should have been split, but don't think you can get split souls from for mythicals. So it just ended up staying this way. There was no real changes, but the Titan event was paused for several hours this evening to fix something along in this event. Also, the Fire Knight tournament that accompanied the Titan event was pulled for several hours during this fix for the Titan event here. When the Titan event did come back online, we were greeted with Mikage with sunglasses. So I don't know what they did, but this is a real thing that happened in this um, in this Titan event where Mikage ended up having some wide rim white sunglasses, but now she is back to normal. So good change by Plarium, I guess. All right, so coming up next on the fumble list for Plarium. So last week we had a summon rush on Friday, and then this week they show up with another summon rush. What is this? To me, this makes very little sense other than to throw off the player base on their regular schedule. Their regular schedule is usually summon rush, then champion chase, then summon rush, and so forth. Why would they put back-to-back summon rush together like this? It's really just throws a wrench into people's plans. So definitely not sure if it's a mistake or if it's intentional, actually. Judging by the recent string of events from Plarium, it could have been a mistake. Who knows? But either way, to me, it's a negative because it hurts people that were planning a chase for this weekend instead of a summon rush. And lastly, let's wrap it up with the infamous Adeline Chase event that is going on right now, currently. This champion cannot get enough negative feedback from everybody so far. It's probably one of the lowest rated champions in all of Raid based on the in-game ratings. I know the in-game ratings aren't something that is too reliable, but she is definitely getting a really, really bad rap going around right now. So in general, the Adeline case just hasn't been received very well, especially at the start of this community event festival. I forgot where she is. Where is she? A Bannerlord? There she is. Yeah, I mean, she looks cool. She has limited use, right? So that's the big problem here. And I mean, I think Plarium they really missed the mark with this champion. As a free login champion, yes, she's free. That's great. But she's just not useful. She's not that useful to an early game or mid-game champion or mid-game player. Like, you do get a 5-star soul, and the 5-star soul might be the make or break for her to make her a little bit more useful. For example, she might open up a room in Centranos, for example, or give you the ability to do something. Also, Sand Devil's potentially being reworked in the near future, so maybe her kit is a little bit more specialized for that one. So we will have to see. But in general, the Adeline Chase is not received very well. You notice that I keep going back and forth, and this kind of ties into what I said before, where we were expecting a champion chase this Friday, but instead we got a summon rush. And because we got this summon rush, my plans of pulling her gets pushed back a week. So basically what I'm going to do is basically hold this for another week. Hopefully next week will be a summon champion chase, and then I'll get 500 points for my trouble for holding on to her and still have enough time to finish phase 1 and phase 2. But the silver lining here is you get a 5-star legendary soul for it, which is good. But the champion, I feel, could have been slightly better in terms of just overall utility. So I think they missed the mark here on the Adeline chase as well. All right, folks, so there you have it. That's going to be it for the video. I would just want to recap all the fumbles that Plarium has made in the last week or so. It's actually kind of scary, especially when every event they've launched that is out of the norm has been dropped on release. So my advice is to wait at least for an hour after they release an event to make sure that everything in the event is as it should be. This was very obviously the case during the progressive event, where the progressive boost wasn't even active. And yeah, that was just a big fumble, a big mess. And I mean, this has been a big mess for Plarium in general in the last week or so. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and discussion. Let me know which problem or fumble that Plarium made was the most infuriating for you. And if I missed any of them in recent memory, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. It's kind of funny that we can have fun making fun of the company for kind of messing up the player base. I don't know. It's just kind of not. It's almost surreal, right? Like that a company of this size can make these mistakes. We can only blame, you know, Kevin, the summer intern, for everything, right? Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It's a bit of a casual one today, so let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.